Happy post E3, everybody. We made it. Woo! We survived.
But only barely.
Welcome to Podcast Unlock, the world's #1 Xbox podcast for June 24th, 2015. It's episode 199.5, Mitch.
Can you do that?
Yes, we can do anything we want because it's our freaking show. We get to do anything we want with it because, of course, this Saturday, the 27th of June, we have the IGN house party. Destin,
That's right.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
You better be.
Yeah, I gotta come in. We're gonna come into the city on Saturday. Well,
Yes.
those of us that don't live in the city are, and yeah, we're gonna come hang out and have a good time.
We have a few more tickets. We've managed to find a few extra places to squeeze people. So
Forget fire code.
Yeah, you might get it. You might get your ticket might be for an air duct. You'd be like Sam Fisher in there, but
That's not true.
we can get you.
We'll
in.
hang you off the mezzanine. You gotta hang onto the rail.
We can get you in. So if you, I know it's super last minute, so this is probably only for Bay Area people only. But
all three of you who didn't buy your tickets already.
if you you would like to grab a last minute ticket, we've got a few more on sale. Go to go.ign.com/houseparty, and your $25 ticket will get you entry as well as a T-shirt and some food. Probably a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Also, a chance to meet these lovely people.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
Meet us in person.
Hello.
You can say hello.
It's like the video.
and it won't just be us.
But
It'll be
without
like
the
other
camera.
IGN staff too.
And Mitch, I think this week, by the way, might be the loudest T-shirt week ever. You're rocking the hot pink. I've got the like bright yellow.
Elena's got some nice like purpley. Is that magenta?
Yeah, it is, I think. I'm not really great with colors.
Is this up already, Destin?
Yeah.
This exists? I forgot.
So we actually have T-shirts that you can purchase.
Wait, really?
For many
Yeah.
of the shows.
I didn't even know about this, by the way.
Brian's running to the camera. He's gonna
Oh
show
my
the camera.
goodness. You know, we could do this with
I'm
B-roll.
sure the
B-roll
focus-
here. B-roll here.
Insert B-roll here.
Yeah.
There's no way this is in focus.
Perfect. Yeah. The blurriest
Perfect.
T-shirt of all time.
Yeah.
This is all very helpful if you're a listener instead of a viewer. So we have T-shirts in sale. I didn't know. Can I see that?
So we have a bunch of shirts. We got like Fire Team Chat shirts. We have
these-
Unlocked shirts.
Are you
Yeah.
going to get sued by Destiny for
man.
that Fire Team logo?
No, we designed
You're good?
it. So
oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man.
Yeah, our own Eric Sapp did it. Has a little IGN logo in the ship.
This is great.
So yeah, it's if you could barely see it on camera, but it's pretty much like the logo you see behind you on all the on the screen, or if you just read, or just the logo in your iTunes feed, made into a T-shirt that is that color.
I really like
nice and simple.
The simple, clean red IGN shirt with the white text with
Yeah.
this IGN
Yeah, I
logo.
agree.
It's really good.
They didn't do black. So for a lot of the shirts, they're actually colored because
Thank God.
we have so many
Yes.
black shirts.
So
We're like,
sick
let's
of
try
them.
something different. And do
So
some
sick of them.
colors.
So, Destin, where can we go to
That is
buy those?
ign-store.myshopify.com.
There you go.
While we're asking you for money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in any
No,
case.
so the reason I brought this up is
I
because
had
there's
no
Fire
idea.
Team Chat shirts, and I
Yeah.
was like, how did that happen? I was very surprised and very happy, and people were tweeting at me like, oh, I totally want one of those.
By the way, I'm a terrible host this week, and apparently I'm still asleep after E3. Elena Yee joining us.
Oh my God.
Her
Finally
second
got
appearance.
I'm back!
Welcome
Sorry.
back.
That was
So
kind of
glad
my
to be back.
fault.
My former compadre at Official Xbox Magazine, lest anyone think you do not have some serious Xbox street cred, you were the primary. You were the samurai who fell on so many Connect review swords, just like, oh,
It was you and I.
I will review it.
The ones that you didn't want to do, I had to do.
That's
boy.
true. I remember telling Mitchie about that. I said, I don't have time for this. You can do this
Because
for me.
the SHIT rolls downhill, Mitch.
Yes, it does.
Well, no, not completely. We both. I think by that time you were gone to IGN, right?
Yeah.
When we both had to do what is it, self-defense
Training for.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember
the
that
game,
one.
The lowest scoring game I have ever reviewed.
It was so
1 out of 10 on
bad.
IGN. 1 out of
Hilarious.
10.
You know, it's funny that a Connect game also got my lowest score
Really?
I've ever given on IGN, which was Steel Battalion Heavy Armor.
Oh.
My very first IGN review, my hazing ritual.
Did you want to do that game?
I actually did.
Okay, I thought so.
I super did because nobody knew it was just going to be that, like, sort of physically broke. I don't want to necessarily call it broken, but just not.
Inconsistent.
You can
Yes.
call it broken.
Well, the game worked, but the technology didn't work so well.
Yeah.
And because I love the original Steel Battalion, the whole 100-button thing with the sticks
yeah.
and this was okay. Like, we're gonna actually, it was one of the rare hybrid games where it was you just drive it with a controller, but it would also use Kinect gesture features, which they promised at the very beginning of Kinect. They're like, well, there'll be hybrid games where you'd use both your controller and Kinect.
We're seeing
Game
tons of
was-
them today.
Anyway.
Yeah. Elena, did you have to do Star Wars, the Kinect game? I did the guide for that one.
Oh, I think that one I managed to
Get away from.
find someone else
Yeah.
to take that
So-
hit.
So I did the guide for it, and it's picture in picture. So there's just somewhere me being like,
Yes.
"Oh my god," and doing this, and
Just
then
waving our
jump,
hands around.
and I'm like,
Doing
I
the
look
dances.
suicidal.
Yeah, just like
It's
you're
like,
on your
please
last
kill
leg.
me, put me out of this.
Well, in any case, enough of that trip
Sorry.
down memory lane.
Connect was
good
not
times.
fun.
We've got a ton of Xbox news to go over. I know everybody's been waiting for us to get back on the air. People are sending me pictures of their podcast feed saying, there's no red dot saying new episode. Let's go. So you should now be seeing, if not right now, in the next day or so, 3 new episodes. We've got this one that you're already hearing, obviously, and then 2 mini episodes where I'm just going to post. I had a chance to sit down with Phil Spencer at E3 for about 20 minutes, which is an excellent interview with him, as always, except for the part where the interview took place on Tuesday of E3. So I asked him, so is Summer of Arcade ever going to come back? And he said no, because he was a mean man who lied to me, because the very next day they announced the Summer Spotlight pseudo thing, which we'll talk about later.
He didn't lie.
To be fair, it's not Summer of Arcade.
So listen for that Phil Spencer interview, and then the bucket list thing I was talking about.
Oh yeah.
I got wind of the new South Park game coming, and was very kindly offered by Ubisoft one of 3 interview slots for the entire week that Matt Stone and Trey Parker were doing for South Park: The Fractured But Whole. Greatest game title ever, by the way.
Pretty good.
So I talked to them for about 20 minutes as well, recorded it, and I will have the audio is not good. Apologies in advance.
Way to go, Ryan.
I know, man. What can I'm not an audio
It was your
engineer.
first time using one of our recorders.
And the last time.
Yeah.
But
Also, E3 interviews, don't expect much. It's like busy times. You're rushing. It's
you'll be able to hear them and hear me. That's about all I can
That's all you
promise. But
I'm
look for
excited.
that.
Way to sell it.
Look for that. Hey, I'm just trying to set
You'll be
expectations.
able to hear us. IGN.com.
you will indeed be able to understand some of the things that were said on the recording.
So thanks, Destin. No, look out for that. And
No,
then,
it's
of
gonna be good.
course, this weekend is the house party. If you cannot attend in person, the show will go up in audio and I think video. We're shooting it, right?
That's Sean.
I don't see why not.
I'm there as talent, Ryan.
Audio
Ooh.
for sure.
Here, we're working.
Audio
Oh,
for
boy.
sure next week. Also next week is, well, forget it. Let's save that. The other bucket list thing, because we're gonna. If you're coming,
Oh, I can't say anything.
if you're
Hans.
coming to house party, you're going to get a sneak preview. That's the plan. So
Oh, yeah, that thing.
it's the most Xbox thing we've ever done.
that
Let's put
thing
it
was
that way.
awesome.
I genuinely can't wait to watch this.
It's. I can't wait to talk about it. We'll move on past that. We'll see you at house party, I hope. Otherwise, look for us on the air next week with plenty more goodness. For right now, we will come back and let's react to everything Microsoft did
Let's do it.
at the Electronic Entertainment Expo, better known to you as E3. All right, let's dance E3 style. Mitch, where do you want to start?
I want to start with backward compatibility, which for me was the like
That was
forget-
the bombshell.
Forget
Yeah.
Final Fantasy
the
VII and
mic.
The Last Guardian and Shenmue. Like this was the biggest surprise because conceivably, like I could expect a lot of the other big surprises at E3.
Yeah.
Had no idea this was coming.
They have a pretty small library to start, but some strong titles.
Yeah, that's the disappointing thing. So now,
Well, because they said it's at the holidays, and there are a few in preview now
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
they roll them out.
sure, yeah, it's very much a preview program. You have to be in the preview program to even access
Correct.
it. But the games that are there are good. I liked that they demoed Mass Effect. I thought it was hilarious. They demoed the end of the game. Like it was,
Oh,
it was
yeah,
during the
like
burning of the
run,
Citadel.
the trench run.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so good. So there is some good titles. It's a lot of old arcade stuff. Geometry Wars is on there. I think maybe some Twisted Pixel stuff is on there as well. So there
Which
is
you
a-
should 100% play.
Yeah, so if you own these
Borderlands
games,
1.
you can install them on your Xbox One. You can, from the disc install your certain Xbox 360 games and access them on your Xbox One, which is awesome.
You know,
okay.
sorry, go ahead. Borderlands 1 was a really good ad, too, because the Handsome Collection didn't have that. So now you have all
Good
your
point.
Borderlands games
That's
on
cool.
Xbox. Yeah.
Is that officially on the list? Because I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah, they
on the-
demoed it during. I watched on
Okay.
on my Xbox. There was a demo of backwards compatible
That's
games,
cool.
and
Got it.
Borderlands 1
Okay,
was
yeah,
one
because
of
it's
them.
not in the preview program yet. Otherwise,
Oh,
I
okay.
definitely would have tried
Maybe
that.
that's one of the ones that's coming. Microsoft also has this big forum right now that's like, what games do you want to see? And obviously the top of the list is Red Dead.
No shocker there.
Everybody wants to,
Yeah.
like, I will replay Red Dead if I can play it on my Xbox One, for sure.
Yeah.
It won't give me any graphical enhancements or performance benefits or anything, but being able to just load up my Xbox One right now and play Red Dead, that's incredible. That sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would, and Rockstar. You could come on. They're not gonna turn their back on all those people, right? It's gonna happen.
I also wonder what is the relationship between games with gold and Xbox One back compat, right? Like if you get a game on Xbox One,
Great question.
Xbox 360 for free, that must be if it's compatible, that must also apply.
Let's hope so. I'll ask Phil the next chance I get.
It's got to be just if it's in your library.
They said digital titles are just available. You can just
Yep.
play them.
So,
yeah.
I actually have gone hands-on with this already, it works really nicely. It works exactly as they described it.
You just
in
pop
the
a disc in, right?
You just pop. So if you have a disc-based game, you just pop the disc in, and maybe like a second or two goes by, and it says you need to download something before this will work.
Mm-hmm.
You download it.
Which is the wrapper,
Yeah,
basically,
yeah.
the BC
Like
wrapper.
Wu-Tang?
That's a good
Yes.
wrapper to download.
Sure. So once it's downloaded, the game starts. You get the Xbox 360 like console boot screen first.
Aw.
As it comes up on
Memories.
screen. Yeah, you get like a whole wave of nostalgia, and then the game itself starts.
And then you jump in,
Mitch,
Xbox 360.
stop.
It's
Xbox 360.
software-based emulation, right, Elena?
Yes.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I thought this was and I actually asked Phil Spencer about this. You'll hear it in the mini interview if you listen to that, where I said, what was sort of the origin of this? And he said, as soon as he was named head of Xbox, he greenlit this. He was like, we need to do this.
Good man, Phil.
So it's been in the
That's
works
cool.
for a little over a year. And it makes sense because this is largely for people who haven't made a choice they haven't upgraded to new gen yet. If they're either still on their 360, and a lot of those people, the early adopters, went to PS4, and maybe now they've also picked up an Xbox One with all these bundles and price drops and deals. But yeah, this is targeted at the person who's still sitting there with their 360, hasn't upgraded to a new console yet, to try and sway that person to go Xbox One instead of PS4, and it's a smart move.
Absolutely.
I saw a lot of people saying like time to get an Xbox One just because of this, just because of backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
And
I do think it's really funny that in the same press conference where they announced like Rare Replay and a bunch of like re-releases of certain Xbox 360 games on one disc, I was like, hey, what if you just could do that? What if you could just play Cameo now?
yeah,
Viva
Boom.
Pinata.
works super
Yeah,
smoothly
any
for
Rare game.
so download games. I want to get to that real quick.
Yeah.
That's even easier. You just go to your games list or the My Games and Apps app.
Yeah.
You go to your games section. You scroll to the right where it says ready to install, and it's right there.
So
Oh,
all my
awesome.
360
Super
games
Meat
are
Boy
there.
is there and stuff for me, so yeah.
Because it's tied to your account, right?
So it's
Right,
just
so
there in my Xbox
It's just
One library.
there, and you just pick what you want.
That's
yeah, and it just has a
awesome.
little like a badge on the side that says Xbox 360,
That's
so
great.
you know it's a 360.
I need to.
game.
God, I think
Nice.
I'm in the preview program.
I'm actually not.
Really?
That's really funny.
I'm in, and I guess I can like invite people or something. Maybe you know more about that. Do you know how it works?
No,
I-
you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
guess
gotta
you
figure
should
out how to do
invite
any
us.
of this.
Yeah, if you guys
Invite
want
us.
in,
Yeah,
let me
I
know.
wanna
Like
check this
Ben
out.
was trying to hit me up for it and stuff. So
No, forget Ben. We're your friends.
I'll get to you guys first. Don't worry.
Cool.
Ben can wait.
Ben can wait.
No, it's
hope he
super
edits this.
sweet. The only thing I'm sad about is that I have preview access through a work account, so it's not
Oh.
on my actual library. So there's really very little in there.
I will
sucks.
say I had the one thought I had after the initial excitement wore off. I was like, this kind of bones harmonics with Rock Band 4, doesn't it? But then they said they came out like no
Peripherals don't-
peripheral
yeah,
things
peripherals don't
work.
work.
So Connect
Yeah.
one version 1 games are not going to work with this.
So we don't
fine.
get to play
and
Well, Dance
self-defense
Central.
training camp on
Oh,
Xbox
okay.
One?
Dance
Well, I
Central
had
is
just
good.
forgotten about that again.
Ooh, there's an Xbox 1.0 added joke in there somewhere.
You're right.
Too
Dance
bad,
Central
Mitch.
1 is a good example.
Dance
of a
Central is
good-
great.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was really sad to hear that I won't be
yeah,
able to play
not
on
happening.
Xbox One.
You
And then
play
so no, the Rock
Spotlight.
bands won't work either. You'll need to grab Rock Band 4.
Yeah. Spotlight exists for that though, right? Like in the same way Rock Band 4 is meant
Yeah,
to be
Dance
the
Central's
platform for all the old stuff.
Yeah.
Spotlight is that way too, but nobody cared about
Yeah.
Spotlight. So sad.
Good stuff.
What other exciting things happened, Ryan?
That HoloLens, my friend.
who all saw it sitting at this table?
Me.
Yeah,
We all did, we all
everyone,
did.
Oh,
everyone.
great.
Yeah.
So let's start with Halo, or no, let's start with Minecraft and then talk about Halo. Because I think, well, Elena, were you the only one that got to do Minecraft?
So I didn't get to do the Minecraft
didn't get to
demo
do-
that was shown at E3, which, from what I can tell from talking to other people, was different than what I saw in January. And I already talked about
Right.
when I came on the show for the first time way back then. But yeah, just from what I got to experience on the dev kits for their what they were calling their tech demo, at the time they were
Yeah.
stressing really heavily that it was not about having Minecraft actually come to HoloLens or anything like that.
Well, you were
But-
wearing when you saw it and tried it in January, you were wearing a computer around your neck,
Yes.
right? And that's how prototypey it was
Yeah,
at the time.
well, the dev hardware I think is different than what we actually experienced. Because so all of us at E3, we were using the final hardware, which is wireless,
Well,
very
we don't
much lighter.
we don't know that
Well,
that it's necessarily
not-
final.
It didn't seem final yet.
They said that that's the
Final-ish.
final design.
Yeah,
So
okay.
they're probably still finessing the internals and a couple other things. But yeah, that's very different. But the field of view, which is something I know you were talking about, was different because I remember that in January I didn't remember it being that small.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in HoloLens you have these. It's basically like a big headset with big goggles on it. But
Well, there's
They're-
nothing actually on your eyes. It's
Right.
it's on a screen,
like
little
a-
clear visor in front
It's
of
a
you.
it's like an
visor.
X-wing pilot visor.
Pretty
But
much.
the only thing you can see HoloLens effects through is a very tiny, tiny, tiny
It's
window.
like a window of
Yeah, I
that
wouldn't
big.
quite call it a mail slot, but it's like 2 mail slots.
Yeah, it's an envelope.
It's an envelope.
It is
That's
depressingly small. I think the effect of like we
I
saw
don't think
the
it
Halo
wasn't
stuff.
that small for me. It was like a rectangular size.
Yeah.
Not like a mail slot.
you're
Mail
a
slot's
little
like
more
this.
down on it
Yeah,
than I am.
was having a lot of trouble with the Halo experience, trying to see stuff. Like I was constantly having to hold my headset. I was having to like
Was it
Right.
not
move
adjusted
around.
properly?
So I just don't like the fit of
Oh,
it at
okay.
all. But
It
once
was
I,
uncomfortable when I wore it. Also.
But once I
Really?
did have it, I just felt like the window was very small, and if I like tried to move to the side, I would lose some vision of something.
Really?
Yeah, I was not.
See, I
feeling
did not have that
HoloLens.
experience.
I didn't either.
when
but
sorry.
I think maybe it just has to do with how it was fitted because
Could
they
be.
actually took like 3 minutes to fit me because they were having so much problems.
You got the pupil measurement
Oh, yeah, yeah,
beforehand,
yeah.
right? It's like an optometrist comes through and calculates how far apart your pupils are so that it can calibrate.
Like you'll have at home when you buy it at retail.
Well, if you have
Not
glasses,
final hardware.
Yeah.
if you have glasses, you'll know
Yeah.
that at least.
When I went in, they cranked it so tight on my head. I was like, "Ow! What are you like? What are you
It's like
doing,
total.
dude?"
It's like Total Recall. Oh,
Like, it was
also-
literally like pushing in my eyes, and I'm like, "You
No,
can't
it
like
shouldn't
ask
do
me
that.
before you do that, guy."
I feel violated.
Yeah, it was the last day, so he's probably like, "Just put it
Just
on."
get out. Just do this.
I'm like, "You're hurting me."
But I was so impressed by the demo. It's not a game. It's not a thing that's probably ever going to be released. Like I knew
The demo was
that was
awesome.
it. I got
Yeah.
to it one time and I'll probably never see that again. But the fact they had the room set up, I mean, a lot of you probably already saw my write up on
It's
IGN,
all
but
themed, right?
yeah, it was the room. It was a big room set up like a Pelican dropship. So everybody was on a bench. You'd stand up. You'd walk forward
To the waypoints. that
Well,
were there.
I'm getting to that.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
you get fitted with your HoloLens first, which I thought it was very lightweight, fairly comfortable. You could adjust. There was a knob to tighten the fit on your head, and then you could tilt it in and out or up and down. So try to find the angle that was. I love
You guys owe each other so many hamburgers.
I don't even know what to do anymore. Yeah. So then they told you turn to your right, look down the hall, and wait for further instruction. And then the actual blue diamond Halo waypoint pops up, and it looks like it's down the hall. You walk towards it. The number of the feet
goes
away
down.
gets
And it
gets
closer,
closer,
and then it points you to turn right into the briefing room. That was actually probably my favorite part, even though the holographic table, like the actual sort of meat of it, was neat too. But just Halo was made real for
Yeah,
about
that was-
5 seconds.
I totally agree.
was neat.
in my life.
It was cool to see like the Sarah Palmer demo where the Spartan is guiding you through how to play Warzone. But
There is a frickin' Spartan action figure that's come to life and is talking to me on this
Oh,
table
yeah.
right now.
It was
that stuff was
crazy.
really cool. It did look visually impressive. I was just constantly bummed out that I can't see everything.
So I like the Sarah Palmer thing, but what really
The
gave
Hunter?
me an idea of what the potential was the Hunter.
Hunter,
Yes,
yeah.
the Hunter
the
comes
Hunter
out.
was my favorite.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he runs, he goes "Whoa," fully animated. He
Yeah.
looked really crisp
It looked like
and everything.
an 18-inch tall, foot and a
yeah,
half tall.
I was like, wow, like that's really cool.
And I like that you could move around the table. I'm moving away from my
Yeah,
mic.
moving away from
and
the mic.
and it wouldn't move with you. Like it was a thing in 3D space. Like it if you went right, you were just looking on the right side of it. It would not follow you. So I was. But I didn't figure you can. There was a mouse cursor that they didn't even explain to me.
So when the infinity was just spinning there,
yeah, in the beginning.
you could actually use your gaze as a cursor
Yeah.
to highlight different parts of the ship
To see what it did.
and see what it did. Like you got
That was
armament
cute.
information and
Yeah.
general ship information and like propulsion information.
I actually did that too. It was really interesting
If I
to see
had-
how it tracked your eyesight.
If I had known that was a thing ahead of time, I would have pulled like every string I could have, which probably still wouldn't have worked. But I would, if only we could get that whole setup at the house party for everyone to try.
That'd be great.
That would be amazing. It's 100% not happening.
The
course.
Pelican ship and everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just have
The
them build
booth.
it there.
Yeah.
Just ship it from LA on the way back to Seattle.
Yeah, there you go.
stop it here. But
Set it
alas,
up, bring the staff. Yeah.
Speaking
Alas,
of
it did
3D
not
stuff,
happen.
the Minecraft demo that I did, going
Yeah,
back to that.
talk to me.
That's really cool because I was talking to Steve Butts about this because he actually did the one at E3, and we were talking about how neat it is to actually be able to, lean over, look down, and get that sense of like depth
Right.
and 3D. Just being able to do like that finger gesture for me when I was like blowing things up, which was pretty neat. It's very simple. Being able to walk around the entire thing and
Yeah.
just like have that change in perspective.
Can you just go "Blah," and destroy everything?
I didn't try it.
I would have. First thing I would have done. Oh, cool demo.
because you're an aggro male, like "Rrr,
Dinosaur.
testosterone.
Justin T-Rex.
But yeah, that was the coolest thing I saw at E3. There were so many great games. Don't get me wrong, but that was the thing I walked out of going, wow. Just like, and I know because I knew I'll never see it again. It's not a thing that's ever going to ship, and who knows. That's the unfortunate part is we don't know the final HoloLens. We don't know what that's going to look like. It could be a totally nerfed version of what we just played. When something has to be mass produced and manufactured and sold at a price point that is such that people would actually buy it, like for all we know, those were $5,000 headsets
Right.
that we were
Sure.
playing with.
But even
And-
then, I wouldn't rule out games because one of the things that Phil Spencer did say when we got to interview him back in January about HoloLens is that he felt that games is, very much part of
Yeah.
what's, going to be important for HoloLens.
I just don't see the application though, especially given that the stuff they've shown is very limited. The interaction with Minecraft seems sort of interesting, but there doesn't seem to be an initiative, at least right now, or any demos showing that they want you to play a game with HoloLens on your head.
Well, what if
Might not be ready for that
I don't
yet.
think, I
Could
think
be.
they have to probably, think about it. It would make more sense to get this up and going for businesses, right? Let enterprise
Or schools.
Sure, yeah.
let
Education.
let enterprise basically take
Think about
care
a
of the
biology
costs
lesson.
and like
That's really cool.
and bring it down to the point where then consumers can just play with
Right.
it
Yeah.
as a $300 gadget in
Yeah.
their house.
What?
Go ahead.
I had a really cool idea. You guys ever read Mark Twain's Mysterious Stranger?
No.
Where the devil makes clay people, but then they come to life and then they interact with each other. What if you just had figures and you could create like a world on the table?
I just see, like,
and then they
how-
start interacting, but then you can like kill one of them and see how they grieve
So
and react.
you
to
and I
that.
were on the same wavelength at E3. Like every VR demo I saw, like I started having more ideas. Like I want to make a VR game, and it'd be like this, and you would do this. That's really cool. Like, here's this preordained
seen
character.
that.
How do they interact with
Something
everyone
like
else?
it.
Yeah.
Not for HoloLens, but augmented reality. I've done other demos, and I was shown this other headset where they basically rolled out this special mat, and you looked at it, and you could actually you basically use it like as a play mat, and you could have real objects there as well as virtual stuff.
Was it the ex-Valve
That's
people,
cool.
Jerry Ryan and?
I believe so.
Yeah, that thing is really cool.
But I wonder, with Kinect, they basically tried to mainstream it via video games. I wonder if they would take a different approach with HoloLens where they do try and get it into educational use and corporate use and mainstream it that way and work out the kinks and get the costs down and then apply it to games with the next Xbox console.
Yeah, that makes
Because
a lot
it
of sense.
clearly in the Kinect bet did not pay off in the long run. It totally paid off in the short run. They sold like 10 million Kinects the first year or first holiday season it was out, like very quickly. But Kinect has just not had the legs as a platform that I'm sure they want HoloLens to have a long tail to it. So I wonder if they'll wait with video games and do those later after they prove it in other areas.
Yeah.
I mean, they've already got NASA on board, so.
I mean,
That's
nevertheless,
hard.
I was just I was very excited by what I saw. It was the most interesting thing I saw, and I hope that the final version is that good and hopefully with a larger field of view, because that was the only thing holding it back for me.
Kudo said straight up, we don't think it's gonna be improved. Like, we're happy.
Oh, he did say that.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was on Giant Bomb's live stream and said like, no, like that's it. That's the field of view.
It might
Well,
like
that's
improve
unfortunate.
a little bit, but
Yeah.
that's pretty much.
I mean, I
it.
get that. I can't even imagine how expensive it is from a
God,
from
right.
a from a horsepower standpoint to render what they do have versus something even 20% larger. But it is definitely it is a drawback to the experience right
Yeah.
now.
Well, it could just be first gen tech, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was
Hopefully,
thinking.
it just keeps basically they keep developing it and it gets better with each generation.
Let's talk a little Halo 5 while we're sort of on the subject.
So after we played HoloLens, we played Halo 5.
Yep.
That's true.
They're like, all right, now take it off and go play Halo.
So did you guys? The three of us went to the Monday event. So
Yeah,
did you
I
guys,
played
we all played
twice.
twice. Okay, so
Yeah,
we
I
played
played with
Warzone.
Ryan.
Great.
Yeah.
Destroyed everyone both times. I just like to go on the record. Just-
Yeah, so I'm standing next to Ryan, and I'm looking over because I'm wondering who's that in that ghost just running around destroying everybody. And I look and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's Ryan.
Dude, the second time, the game I played with you, I don't know who the other team was, but I'm wondering if they were even there because
I don't think
it was
so.
just like, I think you're supposed to get to 1,000 total team points, and I think it was 1,000 to like 400 or something. It was embarrassing if you were the other people. I'm on foot.
It was a group of school kids.
Maybe
They were like waiting for the day.
by getting kills, you earn requisition points, which you can then spend either when you die between respawns or at these requisition stations. You can spend them on weapons or vehicles. And so spent my first couple points on a carbine. Like, all right, I got to get rid of this assault rifle. I'm going to get a carbine, pop a few guys. And then, all right, well, now I can get... I think I went to a ghost. I think that's when you saw me in the ghost. That was early on in the game. Like, eventually got blown up there. Okay, well, I've accumulated enough points now to move up to... I think I skipped the Warthog that game. I did a Warthog the first game with you.
Jump into a Raptor.
Went straight to a Mantis.
Mantis,
at
that's
that
what it's
point.
called.
Like, well,
Oh, that was you too.
Like-
Okay.
just destroying people and that. They just have no chance. Like, just some dude on foot. Like, well, you're dead.
So you were the guy. You were always just going for kills. I was the guy who was always going for objectives. I was constantly trying to get kills in the base and not really worrying about what was happening elsewhere.
That's teamwork, my friend.
Man, does it work. Like, if you are out there in a Mantis causing a ruckus, they're going to leave. I'm going to go in. I'm going to take their base.
Well,
And now we have a new spawn.
and then both times I played at the end, although it was right at the end the first game, but at the second game it was earlier on. I'm like, well, we are absolutely wrecking these guys. I have tons of points. Phaeton, which is the new Promethean
You got one?
Banshee Hornet equivalent,
I do not know
hovering
how that thing works.
hovering flight thing. It's VTOL. Use the bumpers to
that's my
to
problem.
make it go up and down, and then it has two attacks.
It's like the Halo 3 ones.
Yeah.
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 Just-
Okay, that's cool.
just like the Hornet. Yeah,
I
more
just stayed up top and I was zipping around. Like,
More
its evasion dodge thing is really cool.
more
They're
similar
hard
to
to
the
take down.
more similar to the Hornet than the Banshee, because the Banshee is always moving.
Yeah.
Whereas this can hover. But yeah, that has a bomb attack and a laser attack, and that was just like, you guys are all done. So,
Second
what did you
time
think?
I played, I did objectives also, and it contributed a lot more to team points than anything else, because everybody else is just trying to find each other and kill each
Well, it
other.
just forces the enemy it backs them into a corner before it opens up their core, and now you have to destroy that, and you can just win instantly. You don't have to win 1,000.
Well,
you just win.
And what's cool is
It's Halo Quidditch.
the big new thing with Warzone, besides the fact that it's 24 players for the first time ever instead of the 16 cap as we've always seen in Halo, there are Covenant, and Prometheus, there are AI enemies on the field. Pardon me, that first you start off, you have to clear them out of your base before you can even capture your own
So wait,
base.
there's neutral units, there's defensive structures, there's a core in the base. What's all this MOBA stuff doing in my Halo game?
I remember when we were at the thing on Monday, I'm like, Miss, this is a MOBA,
It just
right?
dawned on you. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. It like hit
I was
me.
so excited for
Yeah.
you. Yes.
This is the one I'm
That's a
gonna play,
MOBA.
Mitch.
Dude, the MOBA takeover of genres is my favorite thing.
Call of Duty Black Ops 3.
Yep.
The multiplayer is
Yep.
MOBA-tastic. Evolve is basically a MOBA.
Battleborn.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All that stuff. But yeah, the Titanfall. It's like Titanfall in that there are AI dudes, but like in Titanfall they're practically
They're
brainless
fodder.
on purpose.
They exist to die.
On purpose. But in Halo, they're actual AI, and there's one I got killed by a group
Yeah,
of them
I mean
at
they're
one point.
they're straight up bosses in the area.
Yeah.
You go up a hill and it's this general Sangheili
Promethean Knight.
Or yeah, or there's the Baron in the
Oh,
Banshee
yeah.
up top. Like
Yep.
you need to take these guys
Well,
down,
and what's-
you get tons of points for it.
Right, the bosses get you major points, and that's when you can just unlock. Like, okay, well now I'm gonna buy that Phaeton.
Yeah, and you can kind of risk reward gamble it. Like, okay, well they're going for the general up there. They're gonna get the points, but we can take their spawn point and then push back into their base, so they can
Yep.
have the points, but then we're gonna open up their core. So it's definitely a checks and balances kind of
So,
thing.
Destin, what did you think of Warzone?
I thought it was really interesting. There was so much going on the first time that I played. I was a little unsure, but the second time I played, I'm like, all right, I get it. I know what I need to do to help
Yeah.
my team win, and
wanna
that's
play so much
capture
more of it.
objectives. I enjoyed it.
I'll play a lot of Warzone when Halo 5 comes out.
My only question, which I couldn't get a straight answer on, is there still 16-player, just traditional big team battle?
I would imagine there is.
I would hope so.
I don't know why they'd get rid of it.
It'd be strange if
They got
did.
rid of Firefight in Halo 4.
It's true.
So,
Well,
But Big
that-
Team Battle's core to what Halo is. Firefight is not.
true. But yeah,
Firefights like a fan favorite thing, though.
true. Also true.
Man.
But yeah, you were a fan, Mitch, given your
Oh
MOBA
yeah, I
tendencies.
yeah. I thought it was really smart. Can't wait to try new maps. Can't wait to really get. I mean, we played it twice. We got the gist, but I really want to dig into it and kind of uncover different strategies and figure out the value of each of these bosses and like when they're worth getting and
Right.
the general balance of it.
Elena,
Very excited.
you're a fan or no? What do you think?
Well, to be completely honest, I am a multiplayer wussy. So I generally stay out of it. I always play Halo single player. But
Nothing
this
wrong with
actually-
that.
Actually, this might pull me in.
Because you can always just drive a Warthog around and rack up wheelman assists.
Well,
That's
not even
true.
just that. I mean, admittedly, when we played, that team was bad because when I'm able to kill somebody in a multiplayer match, that team is
Y'all
not
got a
very
problem.
good. Yeah, you had problems.
So
But yeah, I like the fact that I can go around instead maybe just dealing with AI, which is a little less stressful for me because I
Yeah.
know how to do that right,
Right.
now. And then I can learn how to do the rest.
I wonder if it was just me because I was so excited by what Warzone was. Was anyone else sort of let down by the campaign demo?
Yes. Well, I just wanted.
didn't
I
play it.
wanted to see more. I
too.
mean, there was.
You mean the onstage demo, or
Yes.
was there another
yeah.
one?
No,
Okay.
we only saw the onstage one.
I
For me,
agree.
it just
I
seemed
don't
very.
like Locke. I've said that many times. I want.
he's so
why
boring,
didn't
right?
Why didn't they show Chief?
His squad is great. I like
Yeah.
Osiris a lot. I like their banter. It's really good. I just thought that the demo they showed was not very interesting. The combat looked very predictable, very simple, very.
Well, and
old.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
that's as we'll talk about throughout the show. That for what I thought, Microsoft had a phenomenal conference. Let me put it right out there. They showed a lot of I didn't think there were really any duds. They showed a bunch of great games, many of which are out this year. But the issue I have with their conference is there are a few games, Mitch, where I thought that the game was good, but the demo they showed on stage was not the best thing to show.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would agree. I mean, Halo 5, I definitely wanted to see. I mean, it's E3. It's the big moment, the Super Bowl. Show me some Master Chief stuff.
Yeah.
I get like, oh, we want to save it for the game. Like,
Sure.
well, not here. It's E3. Give me,
Yeah.
give me a little something. I want to see Blue Team
Here's
in
Locke,
action.
the character you
Yeah.
don't know, and 3 other characters. One
Yeah.
you might kind of know, 2 others you don't. you
So
know?
that was a little bit of a disappointment, but
Yeah.
Warzone was so good. And we got to play that.
Speaking of disappointing demos, let's talk about the Tomb Raider stage demo. Because I thought the demo on stage, where she's climbing the ice rock, she's got her buddy. I thought that demo fell a little bit flat for me. It didn't
Me too.
show anything that makes me think like, oh, this is going to be a great Tomb Raider game.
And everybody that tweeted me when I said, like, everybody thinks, why do you keep hating on Tomb Raider? I was, because they thought.
Because what they've shown is boring.
Because
Yeah.
we were criticizing
trailer.
that trailer ahead of E3. We're not criticizing the game.
Criticizing the
They're
marketing.
criticizing
Yeah.
the
marketing.
yeah, how they're presenting the game, because I have every bit of confidence that the game is going to
Yeah.
be good, highlighted by the behind closed doors demo that they
was
showed.
so good.
15 minutes. She's she's wading through snow in a blizzard, has to make camp, take out a bunch of guys stealthily, and then fight a freaking grizzly bear.
That sounds
which,
cool.
by the way, that video is now on IGN. I 100%
Definitely
encourage you to go watch it.
It's so good.
Yeah, you're right, Mitch. The stage demo was the ice climbing thing. Those were all things that we did in the first Tomb Raider.
It also didn't look
Just
like gameplay.
reskinned.
Yeah.
It was just
looked
it
like
was just
QuickTime
ice
events.
instead of a mountaintop.
Yeah.
And so and some people said to me, well, the behind closed, it was way too long. They couldn't have shown that. Well, first of all, if Tomb Raider is your big November title for the year, it's your number
Make
2
the
title.
space.
Along with Halo, you make the space. Or okay, if you don't want to show the whole 15-minute thing, cut it down to a little bit of the stealth kill snow stuff, and then show the grizzly bear
Yeah,
fight.
close with the bear.
Yeah, do the Call of Duty thing in the interest of time. ...
Right.
Yeah.
skip
So
ahead to the bear fight.
I agree. I was disappointed with the stage demo, and then
Yeah.
it completely redeemed itself with the behind closed doors
It's
demo.
so good. Tomb Raider looks excellent. Like not just visually, which it is just phenomenal, but it looks like the sequel that I want to play. It's got a lot of really great combat design. The stuff with the bow looks great. The bear fight looks incredible.
Oh, and they showed the crafting in that demo too.
That I did not see.
You can craft and upgrade your bows, which
Oh, cool.
made a
You
little
had
bit of
in the
that.
first
yeah.
one, yeah. I jokingly leaned over to James, who was sitting next to me. I'm like, okay, do you think we're going to climb a rock this year? Because they did it with Call of Duty. It was a blizzard setting,
Yeah.
and you climb a rock. And then we see the Tomb Raider demo. I'm like, this is the Call of Duty demo from like
Yeah.
3 years ago.
Yeah, it was,
exactly.
Was that Modern Warfare
Almost.
3? Black
Yeah,
Ops
one
2?
of the Modern Warfares where they hold up, and climb a rock.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on.
That was a great demo, though.
Yeah. Later, when it was in interest
Yeah.
of time, they actually showed
Yeah, yeah.
combat. But I was just surprised that they didn't show more.
Yeah, Elena, what did you think of Tomb Raider, both on stage and otherwise?
I don't know. I mean, this is probably
A
where-
resounding sigh.
Well, no, this is probably where everyone just like mutes because I wasn't super into the first one.
No?
So I was hoping the second one would have enough to draw me in, and I still haven't seen anything.
Haven't
yet.
seen enough yet?
Yeah.
That's fair.
I want to see
enough.
her growth as a character. You
Yeah,
know?
that was almost enough.
Can't
'Cause
convey that in a stage demo.
Yeah.
They also didn't really convey that in the first game as effectively as I think a lot of people say they did.
Yeah.
I thought there was a lot missing in the first game. I liked it as a game. I thought Lara's story, top to bottom, was a mess. Didn't do anything for me at all.
That's why I was hoping they would improve it with
Yeah,
this one,
me too.
and I didn't see it in any of the demos,
You
unfortunately.
can see it a little bit in how she carries herself, like how she speaks, handles
Yeah.
herself for the most part. But
Sure.
it's not like as you all are saying, not enough yet to really make that call.
But yeah, please go on IGN and watch that 15-minute behind closed doors demo because it is the demo that, in my opinion, they should have showed on stage.
I'm going to go watch it. I want to know what happens with the grizzly bear. Do they make friends? Are they friends now?
After
I-
she shoots poison arrows in his face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
for the
no.
best buds.
That's
Don't
how you make
spo-
friends, right?
Well, that's how we met and became
Yeah.
good buds.
Yeah.
Hug. ReCore, which
Yes.
for some reason my brain keeps wanting to call Neocore. I have no idea
Why?
why.
Like, where's that
I
coming
don't
from?
know. I have no explanation for
Maybe it's
my
for all the robots.
my
Yeah.
brain does not want to function correctly when it comes to this
ReCore.
video game.
To be fair, it's not a great name.
It's a little weird.
Hopefully, it makes more sense once we actually get some real story or.
Tell me about
Yeah,
this
so
game, Mitch.
ReCore is the next game from Keiji Inafune's studio, Concept, and it's also in development with Armature. Is that the other studio, the ex-Retro
Yep,
guys?
bunch of ex-retro folks.
So good combination of devs, good premise. A girl and her robot dog walking around,
Until
having
he
a
dies.
good little adventure, and then spoiler, the dog gets blown up. And I think the idea,
Everybody was like, no!
I would imagine the idea of ReCore is because she takes the core from the dog and reapplies it to another robot, and now it's the same creature,
Spirit.
it's the same AI,
Yeah.
but now in a different
gigantic
body.
mech-like body.
It's going to be puzzle-oriented where you change the
Yes.
cores. And
that's
yeah.
Which is
so
rad.
cool. Like they're just here's remnants of old robots. Here, what do you do? Oh, you can do that. It's interesting if I move you over there and then switch. Like
Yeah.
that, I'm already excited by those possibilities, especially when you enter combat and you think like, oh man, I need a defensive robot to protect me because I'm gonna go make some risky plays. That has an enormous amount of potential and is very exciting. This is an Xbox One exclusive. It's a new IP.
Yeah, this was the thing that Phil teased on
Yes.
Twitter like a month or so ago and said, we'll have one new first-party AAA exclusive IP on stage of the show. And it was like, well, what's it going to be?
Yeah. They have more than one.
Well, true.
We'll get to that.
But this is the one he was referring to.
Yeah, and this one is super exciting. I love the idea of playing as this woman and her cool little robot animals.
Dogs, big theme of the show this year.
Yeah.
Good job, industry.
Yeah.
We had dog meat from the German Shepherd from
Yep.
Fallout 4. We have the ReCore dog. There was, hold on, there's at least
There were
one
so
or
many
two
dogs,
more.
yeah.
There were
I can
definitely
remember.
one or two more.
Do you count the Last Guardian's creature?
Yeah, bird dog.
Yes,
Bird
bird
dog.
dog counts 100%.
Bird dog 100% counts.
It
There's-
sounds like he says bird dog.
Bird dog.
Yeah.
I tweeted about it. I can't
dog.
remember. But yeah, Year of the Dog, Go E3, awesome. But yeah, ReCore looking great. They said, I think they said spring 2016
I
at
don't remember
the
off
end
the
of the
top of my
trailer.
head.
So
Sometime in the future.
well, thanks, Destiny.
Yeah. So this is great.
It'll
This
get
is already
delayed.
this is showing Xbox One has a really good 2016 after its really promising holiday 2015. So, I mean, I thought Sony had a really great show. Destin and I did a video that's getting a lot of attention from people who
Oh,
are very
God.
angry at us, saying PlayStation had a better show than
It was
Xbox.
about the
Oh, I would disagree
conference.
with that.
I feel like the
That's right.
conference presentation that Sony had was stronger than the way Xbox presented.
I agree.
That's
and I think
what it was.
both of them were phenomenal.
Yeah, they were both.
I don't
good.
even want to get into this.
All right,
It's just
all
gonna
right,
like
all
go
right.
down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But when you look at Xbox's conference, there's obviously a lot going on. This shows that they have not only a lot of great looking stuff coming this year, but they are already telling you stuff that you're going to play in the spring and in the summer and in the fall. Like,
Yeah.
they're preparing for the next year. They already want you to be thinking about Xbox One in 2016.
We already have for 2016 Xbox One. We're looking at ReCore. We're looking at Sea of Thieves, which is we're gonna get to in a minute.
Yep.
We're looking at Crackdown,
Mass
Quantum
Effects.
Break, Scalebound.
Oh man, yeah.
I'm talking first
Just
party
first party?
exclusive. I'm talking Xbox exclusives.
That's one game
so
that wasn't there.
Gears-
Crackdown. I
the
wish
Gears
I
Holiday?
had seen.
Gears 4, yes, holiday. So that right there, we just ripped off 6 exclusive games. Oh, Cuphead 7.
Man.
So Inside 8. So
I think that'll be this year.
That was another one not
no,
there. That I
100
wanted to
no
see.
way.
They delayed
It's-
it out of early 2015. if
It's
you
not.
were
It
ever-
wasn't at E3.
I think it's because they're finishing the game.
Okay.
That creator, Art.
Dino?
well,
Dino?
he's the guy. He's
Yeah.
like, but
Anyway,
Play
he's-
Dead.
Yeah, I know Play Dead, but the guy making it is really sensitive about when he shows it and talking
Yeah.
about it and stuff.
I
so,
would-
yeah.
I
would-
think that game's this year.
I would make an In-N-Out bet over that. Boom.
Oh.
2016. That's gonna be some New Year's sweet,
One of you are just
delicious.
gonna have to come in with like 20 hamburgers and just
I'm gonna
dump
get,
them on
yeah,
there.
although I'm gonna get in and out in like 2 months.
By the
when
way,
game comes out.
if I lose this bet and I'm playing Inside this year, I will happily buy
Yeah,
you In-N-Out.
no.
That is a
Sorry you
win-win
lost.
situation. But yeah, to finish up on ReCore, the thing that's cool about this to keep in mind is if you're like, well, we still don't know exactly what it is. The reason to be excited here is that it's Inafune, and the
Yes.
reason to be excited about Inafune-san is this is the guy that made Dead Rising and Lost Planet happen. There is, in my opinion, nobody better in the world at fusing creative Japanese leaning design
Principles.
with and applying it in a way that's super appealing to Western gamers.
And the fact that they have Armature working with him means that they'll get rid of all the stuff that I probably don't like about Dead Rising and Lost Planet and just make it like the perfect version of those kinds of games.
No Japanese game designer, I think, understands the Western market better than Keiji
Completely
Inafune.
agree. Completely
And
agree.
that's why I think it's time to get psyched about ReCore if you're not already. So, another game to get psyched about, just stealing Destin's thunder. You got nothing today, Destin.
I don't know.
Step
This
your
is,
game up.
I don't want to do cheesy segues because like all this stuff is cool and I want to talk about it.
So you're saying the other news sucked?
Yeah, no. It's just we have a lot to get through.
A lot.
Yeah,
So Sea of Thieves
we're
was
a
announced
third of
on
the way
stage.
through the show.
Yeah, we have so much to go.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long one. Sea of Thieves was announced on stage. This is the next new IP from Rare. Rare is finally making a video game, you guys.
Rare
Yeah.
is back, you guys.
a real video game, not
Not Rare
Kinect,
Replay,
whatever.
not
Rest in-
Avatar Sports.
Rest in
10.
peace.
Yeah.
Connect Sports. It's over.
Good riddance.
It's over.
Thank you, whoever let them make this.
This is already one of my most anticipated anythings. So excited about this.
I think of everything Microsoft showed, this might have been the one that had the IGN war room at the show buzzing the most. Everybody was stoked on this. It's first person, like
It looks like an MMO, is it?
no,
Okay.
but it is a shared world. It's like Destiny
style.
So
Okay.
it's not full up MMO, but it's
It is.
large world.
yeah. It's basically an
But
MMO.
yeah.
what's amazing about this, in about 5 seconds, I knew this was a Rare game by the art direction
Yep.
alone.
Oh,
You
yeah.
could. It has that signature beautiful like style and rare color. That's just that incredible use of the color palette to it. First person pirate, walking the plank, sailing a ship, searching islands for adventures and caves and so good. Tell me, Mitch.
Yeah, so I mean, the very brief gameplay trailer we saw just kind of gives you an idea of what the theme is. You know, it's got that just like perfect piratey Pirates of the Caribbean style music.
It just has this like maybe people are gonna accuse me of like overselling this now, but I just got this like sense of joy from that game.
It seems like the happiest pirate game in the world.
It does.
I got a sense of joy when I found out you can have a mutiny and make somebody walk the
people
plank.
walk the plank.
You didn't see that part?
No.
Yes,
Yeah.
you did.
I must have just missed that.
In the trailer,
Dude,
there's
I've seen
a
that trailer like
scene.
5 times. I've missed that every
The
time.
mutiny
Yeah.
part or the
Do we
walking
need
the
to-
plank part?
Both.
Do we need to screen this for you again?
I'm gonna watch this trailer again.
Go.
Yeah, so
Tell me.
like you see this person team up with a team of 4 or something, and they're on the ship, and they're going, and then there's just a scene where they make one of them walk the plank.
Oh, it's
They're
so
like,
good.
"You're out of here."
I would imagine that's.
Oh, and there's sharks in the
And
water
there's sharks
too.
in the water.
So you're gonna get eaten.
I would imagine that's an emergent style thing rather than like, oh, it's time to walk the plank mission. Like that seems like something all 4 of us could team up and turn on our captain and say like,
Yeah.
you're
Like,
out of here.
you
dude."
know what?
Sorry,
Ralph's
Elena,
a
you're
jerk.
All right.
And this,
I
like
was
that,
prepared.
the potential for that makes me not want to play or to secretly play this game with my friends. To be like on Skype on Xbox One, talking to my friends and then teaming up with randoms so that we can steal their stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like my brain immediately goes into Rust mode, where it's like, what's the worst thing I can do to these people? How can I break them the most?
Kind of like with Fallout Shelter, like you've been doing.
Oh man.
Wait, what have you been doing to follow?
I've been trying to see like all the weird stuff I can do. Like I'm sending all the pregnant women out to the wasteland. Like, all right,
I didn't know
good.
you could do that.
Yeah, I'm putting all the men to work in the kitchen and sending the women out to war. No, I don't even know if you can do it. I
The
just
pregnant women?
this is just the weird stuff Destin and I were talking about in that game.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know if you can do it.
All right, enough of that segue.
Yeah. Sorry. Sorry.
But yeah,
I just got a notification for Fallout Shelter actually while we.
You got some
Yeah.
electricity waiting for you,
Yeah.
Destin.
yeah. Sea of Thieves. It was. I mean, it's Rare is back. It's. I would suspect this will probably be a Windows 10 crossplay game.
Oh,
right? Why
Yeah.
wouldn't it be?
I would almost guarantee that.
If
A
it's-
lot of their games are that now, so not surprised.
But-
Gears is, yeah.
For the
Ultimate
first party
Edition.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Gears 4 will probably be as well.
Yeah.
But
Rock
yeah, I
hinted at
mean-
that pretty heavily.
They showed. So yeah, it starts on the island. They walk around. There's a skeleton that's been impaled, stuck to a post, and he's just a skeleton. He's been there for a while. They start to turn into a cave, and then there's like a bird sound or something, and he turns and then walks down the beach, and that's where you get the ship reveal. There's people just walking around.
And then you just see this awesome ship combat where there's a guy who's actually driving the boat and you have people manning the sails and stuff.
Yeah, everybody's got a job.
That's so good. Like it makes me think this isn't just an action game. It is a game where there are actual systems at play that you have to monitor, which is cool.
Yeah, I could just the thing about this too is I noticed, because we were just immersed in E3 all day. There was the EA press conference started, about an hour or so after the Microsoft one, 2 hours after the Microsoft one ended, and trending U.S. trends on Twitter, the last 2 things that were still trending after the Microsoft conference had ended were Cuphead, which we'll get to in a second, and Sea of Thieves. Like those were the
Nice.
2 that people seem to be super buzzing about, and those were certainly the 2 that we were on fire for. So, bravo, Rare. Thank God you're back. Take all your connects and burn them in a fire, and we will see you
I wonder.
on the open seas.
Yeah, I wonder if they did that Office Space style with the connects.
Speed them all over the field.
Yeah.
So, while we're on the Rare note, Rare Replay.
So excited.
Are you? Wow,
Yes.
I did not peg you for like a Rare fan.
So, not a huge Rare fan, but I'm a huge Conquer fan.
Where
yeah.
are these people coming from? Why didn't I know that I was the only person in the world who's like, yeah, Conker's fine. Everybody here loves Conker.
Yes.
Loves him.
We do.
How can you not?
He's a dumb squirrel who makes fart jokes.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Bravo, sir.
Conquer in 2016 for president.
I guess. Whatever.
Banjo-Kazooie? I mean, come on.
Banjo-Kazooie I'm very excited about. I'm excited for more than anything. Battletoads. So glad Marty's not here. We can celebrate the greatness that is Battletoads.
So this game is we were very, very lucky to be secretly tipped off of this ahead of time because our UK team, we have an IGN UK, we were invited to Rare out in the boonies of England to go to their studio, and they showed our UK guys all this. They shot a sort of making of documentary and then a bunch of Let's Plays with the Rare team for a ton of these games. It's 30 games, so please go to the easiest thing is probably just Google IGN Rare Replay. And
Yeah,
then
that news
should,
story has everything you need in terms of what is in that collection. It's, various versions of Battletoads,
Yeah.
Cameo, Banjo-Kazooie, Jet Force Gemini, which I'm super excited to go back
I
to.
mean, there
Blast Corps.
Really?
yeah,
Man.
Yeah.
RC Pro-Am is one from my
yes,
childhood
yep.
on the NES. that
Jetpack
is
Refueled is one of my favorite
Jetpack.
XBLA games
It's
ever.
$1 a game.
I know.
Yeah.
30
Yeah,
games,
that's a crazy
$30.
value.
It's out August 4th. 10,000 achievement points,
Damn.
Holy moly.
which is a lot.
I like that was a bullet point.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
And the only thing I'm remotely disappointed about is it's the original N64 version of Conquer,
Which I'm actually
which is
glad
great.
about.
But I was also hoping it would have the Xbox version, Conquer Live and Reloaded, because that game is stunning. The fur shading in that game, like it's still.
For shame.
You're laughing. Have you
No.
looked at it lately?
Does it still look good?
It
well,
looks
Yeah.
great.
That phrase always
Screw
just
you
cracks me
guys.
up. No, the
First hitting is
phrasing,
kind of a funny
That's the
yeah,
term. It
word.
just cracks me up.
Yeah.
It's just so like.
I didn't invent the term.
I
Don't.
know. I know.
But yeah, the Xbox remake was so gorgeous. It had multiplayer. I did run into Craig Duncan, the studio head of Rare, and I actually asked him. I was like, "This is awesome, but I love the Xbox version." And he said, "Well, you can't get the N64 version anymore. So we wanted to put the version in that's just."
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's
which I was
pretty
like, you know what?
Fair enough.
Honestly,
You are correct, sir.
Mad respect
that
for
one
that.
is
You know
better
better than I
though,
do.
if you want the pure experience, because they had to censor some of the songs for the Xbox version.
That's true.
Fair point.
So
Fair point. So yeah, I mean it's almost all their even Grab by the Ghoulies is in there from
Yeah.
Greece.
Oh, neat.
Their very first Xbox project from the original Xbox. Yeah, how can if you look up fan service in the dictionary, there is now a picture of this because how can you not like this?
It's got that weird, ugly Battletoad on it.
Oh yeah,
How
absolutely.
can they not be making a new Battletoads game, by the way?
They are.
On the cover of that game is this like beautifully rendered ugly Battletoad, and then at the show they had this giant Battletoad statue. It's like 6.5 feet tall with his sunglasses, and he's got all this gross zits.
Oh,
all
I took
over
a
him.
picture next to it.
Yeah, I took a couple photos of it. It's great. Like you don't make that thing if you're not making a Battletoads game, right?
I hope you're right. I mean, here's the thing. Rare, we know, they've got at least two teams because there's the Sea of Thieves team and
Yep.
the crew that put together Rare Replay. Rare Replay here, it's June 24th as we record this. That collection is basically done.
I'm sure
it's
it
out
is.
in a month
Oh,
and
yeah.
change. So are those people going to roll over to a Battletoads project? Or maybe is there a Battletoads project already working?
What
already
would
in
that
the
look
works
like,
now?
though? Just
Hope-
a beat 'em up?
Hopefully a side-scrolling, just a modern reinvention of it. 2D gameplay.
That always
3D.
just worries me because those have been done wrong so many times.
I would
know.
point you to
Yeah.
Bionic Commando Rearmed.
Bionic Commando was
Oh my
phenomenal.
God, it's so
but
good.
It's not that type of game.
Scott
though,
Pilgrim
so-
was really good as well.
Yes.
Okay.
If you can do something like that, Castle Crashers,
Yeah.
obviously a good example of a 2D side scroller. Just don't do what they do with Double Dragon Neon.
Ninja Turtles.
Oh, don't even. No need to bring that up.
Yeah.
Oh, that was rough. Double Dragon Neon, not a good thing, but yeah. So Rare Replay, like how could you not? It's like, oh, $30. Okay. $1 a game.
I'll play that.
Done.
Speaking of good side scrollers, well, it's not always a side scroller. Cuphead.
does it matter though? That game is just
Yeah.
gorgeous to look at.
It's about the art
regardless.
style, right?
It's so good.
Cuphead, our winner of IGN's best Xbox One game of E3.
Really?
Yep.
I still haven't seen our awards page. I should go check
You
that
should
out.
probably look at that.
I want to see if all the stuff I voted for won. I'm
That's
sure
because
it
you
did.
went to Disneyland after
I did.
E3,
I turned my brain off. No more video games,
which
just rides.
was
Woo!
the correct thing to do.
It's awesome.
Disney's fun.
Yeah, I was reading our winners. I mean, I submitted my votes, but I didn't know how anybody else voted. And yeah, I was at the airport waiting to go home, and like, oh, okay, cool,
Nice.
Cuphead won. And that's people. People are like, whoa. So many people crying to me on Twitter. What a Tomb Raider or Halo. Like it was about. So we were there. We saw everything. We played lots of stuff. It was about what was shown at E3, and as we talked about, Tomb Raider and Halo did not have our great games we're stoked for that just did not make as good a showings
Yeah.
as we wanted them to. Cuphead did.
It's also incredibly telling that this game is special if it is beating all of those. Like in a unanimous vote with the staff, like the majority of people said Cuphead was the best Xbox game.
Well,
of
I
the
have
show.
no idea what the vote actually was. It could have won by one vote
Sure,
for all I know.
but even then, the majority of the people,
Yeah.
like it won the majority vote.
But don't use the word unanimous, Mitch.
All right, fair. Every single person said it was the best.
But you can say that in the war room, when that came up on screen, everyone got really
Was
excited.
like,
Everyone-
oh my god.
Anyone who had
Yes.
not seen that game was like,
Well, that's the thing. I saw it. I played it at GDC, and I was telling everybody, and people would kind of just like give me the usual glassy-eyed look that
Oh,
they
it's
give
a
me
2D
because.
That's how I felt
action
about
game, I think.
HoloLens.
And then at E3, I was just like, "See, I told you
Exactly
all.
the
You
reaction I
see?"
had about HoloLens.
Cuphead is just like this beautiful, creative sequence of boss fights that meshes up like old school
Reminds
video
me
game
of Contra.
mechanics. A little bit.
It's
got
a bullet
Yeah.
hell shooter. That's
Yeah.
that's part of what makes it amazing. Is it's Cuphead looks like this cute, adorable platformer,
And it's
it
just
is
punishing.
a balls to the wall bullet hell shooter. Good luck.
It is so hard.
It's nothing but boss fights.
Yeah.
Mostly.
It's a lot of sequences of just like very challenging scenarios. You move from one to the next, and it's the two-player co-op stuff is really cool. I don't know what's going on with that story. It is like the weirdest 1930s style.
Cuphead and his
animation
buddy
thing.
Mugman.
Mugman. Oh, Mugman.
Two-player co-op Contra style.
Yeah,
Can't
this
wait.
is
So good.
I can't wait.
And there's
for
like
this.
an overworld map too when you're
Yes.
moving between areas.
Correct.
Yeah.
The only thing that was a bummer here was, again, having played it, seen it at GDC, which was 3 months ago now. At the end of their showing at E3, it's, they made a little joke about it, but it's 2016. It's like, oh no, it's not.
Guys.
I gotta wait. I'm willing to wait for that video game.
Yeah, whatever it takes for that game to be as perfect as possible. Take
I'm
your time.
telling you that is.
There's no shortage of games to play in the meantime.
What I think Limbo, Inside and Cuphead are going to be this generation's Braid and Limbo for Xbox One. Like as far as the premium digital titles that everyone's going to remember.
Castle
playing-
Crashers as well. I mean, that was
For
another
sure.
one that just it landed so well and continued to sell for years and years and is getting remade for new
For
gen
Xbox
consoles.
One, yeah, it's coming back. But bravo, Cuphead. The award is well deserved. And if you
Absolutely.
if you disagree with it, again, we were lucky enough to be there and see everything. It was a great choice. It wasn't just like, well, everything sucked except
Yeah.
Cuphead. It was all this stuff was awesome, but
Yeah.
damn Cuphead.
Hey, if you disagree, that's fine, but like, please pay attention to Cuphead. It's so cool.
yes,
So
Lines
absolutely.
were just always constant, even on the last day at like 3 o'clock when I was
Oh, wow.
wandering.
They were well
Yeah.
short of
Yeah.
demo stations for that, for sure. Gears of War 4, Mitch, you are our resident Gears of War spurt. Nope.
Don't
not
know
a
how I
word.
feel about that one,
Nah.
but I'll take it.
You
yeah.
love Gears of War,
I
probably
really do.
more than everyone else in this office. You're a huge fan of the series.
Yes.
And we thought that maybe Gears 4, I thought Gears 4 would just be a teaser thing, like
Yeah.
a cinematic teaser.
we
and that
talked
was
about
I
it.
that. Maybe
called
we
that,
get a
by the
logo.
way. I just have to bring that up.
Did you?
I was like,
Please do.
You guys were like, they're gonna show the remake. There's no way they'll show Gears 4. I'm like, I think they're gonna show something for Gears 4, like a teaser.
I figured we'd get a
At
very short
least,
teaser.
you know.
We'd get a logo, best case. And in the end, that is almost what we got with Gears 4. The demo was very short, not terribly informative, but it did establish a couple of very important things.
Yeah.
In that it is focused on 2 players. It is back to the roots of its like dark horror style
Did they
atmosphere.
Did they confirm that it's 2-player?
So that demo
Because
is
we
2
saw
players.
2-player and they played together, but does that mean
So in any other Gears game, if there were 4
you split
people-
up sometimes 2 and 2 though in old Gears games?
That's
remember?
a good point. So yeah, maybe there are 2 other people.
So,
I would
yeah.
imagine it's 2 players though,
Hmm.
because wasn't Gears 1 the same thing? Like you would pick which AI to go with down a different path.
Yeah.
At different points, which
Yeah.
is
there
what
were 4
Destin's
of
saying.
you, but you would there was always 2 players.
Yeah.
So I mean, Phil talked about this last year, saying we're gonna get back to Gears roots. So maybe that's indicative of this as well. New monster doesn't look a lot
Well,
like
let's
a,
back up for a second. I was very surprised. No Marcus, no
Yeah.
He
Delta
has
Squad.
to be there.
We don't know who these characters are. We don't know when this takes place. We don't know where they are. It's like I don't think that's Sarah. I don't think Sarah has 2 moons, but I don't know the lore well enough. But I don't know anything about what this game is.
I wasn't impressed by the demo. I thought it was really way too dark. Like if you're gonna show off your game, show it off. Don't mask it behind darkness, And that was a little disappointing for me.
Yeah, again, this is one where I'm stoked for the game. I have full faith in
Yeah.
Rod and the team at the Coalition, but I thought as a coming out party for Gears 4, this was not a great showing because I didn't have a problem so much with the darkness, but I guess my problem with the darkness is that like Gears 1 blows you away visually. Like, oh my God. And that's what we hope Gears 4 is going to do because it's Unreal Engine 4, that it's going to do that all over again for this generation. But we saw some really cool like wind blowing the trees effects, but it was mostly just them running around, and then there wasn't an execution until the very end, and they showed one new monster, and I just thought it was kind of an underwhelming coming out party for
It wasn't
Gears.
really like your average vertical slice demo where it's here's the coolest part of the game that you get to see now. It was basically like, let's jump into mission number 2 after the first cutscene. And it's just like, it's just a mission, it's a quick look at the game. It didn't have like a huge hook to it. It was just like, here it is.
And the characters didn't have a lot of character, which was sad.
Well,
they
that
were
we
just kind
saw.
of bland.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just because we don't know who they are. We don't know what they're doing. We don't know where they're going.
But even then, like I felt like the dialogue wasn't very engaging, right? You don't have to know anything about characters to find that their interaction is really interesting.
Sure, yeah.
Right? And I just felt like the whole time that it didn't tell anything about who they were, about anything about them, period, what they were doing, and it's just very generic.
Compare that reveal with the Mad World reveal for Gears 1. You know, like night and day.
Yeah, I do. Again, I have full faith in Gears of War 4. It was just, I wanted to be blown away more. And I wonder if, Mitch, you make a good point about the vertical slice thing versus real gameplay. Is this just a case where I'm complaining either way, where if it's the vertical slice thing that eventually gets downgraded and everybody gets mad, or they show a real thing and I'm like, oh, that wasn't that great? So am I just being a whiny gamer right now?
I think it's just because this demo was very teasery. You didn't get a lot of character interaction. You didn't learn a lot. You got to see it, but wasn't maybe necessarily the ideal setting to show it. So, like in terms of like the in-game setting, not E3. It just wasn't super informative. It was more just confirmation that it exists, and here's some new characters and a new monster, and let's talk later.
And a release date, holiday 2016.
And I would imagine we'll see more at Gamescom.
Gears 1 was the Mad World reveal. Gears 2 was like a red silhouette where you kind of got a taste of what you're going to expect from Gears 2, you know?
Oh, it wasn't Gears 2 the one where they chainsaw dueled at the end?
Yeah, they chainsaw
like,
duel, and they kind of gave you, like, let your imagination imagine what Gears 2 is. Oh, you can't just get chainsawed all the time, and it's really interesting. And this one, they just kind of showed you everything. There's nothing left to imagination, and yeah.
All right, so we're keeping a close eye on Gears 4, obviously, as time goes on.
Maybe we can play it with a new controller.
Thank you, Destin.
There you go. There's the right.
You're on, that's the guy I love. Elite controller. That's out of left field. Wasn't expecting this. All 4. I mean, it's like, well, Xbox One already has the best controller, so this was a bit of a surprise. It's a the price didn't go up. You guys found the price on Amazon after. They didn't announce it at the show.
For good reason.
Yeah.
So I looked at that and went, oh, I'll bet that's like a $75 controller.
Why not double that?
$150 controller.
Yeah.
So, which I later learned, I ran into Alfredo Diaz, our good friend, former video man and former pro gamer here at IGN, still, of course, doing his thing. He said that he informed me of, in the pro gaming community, there is a controller called the Scuff that a lot of those guys use, including him, that is $250. So
not so bad now.
the Elite, completely eats those guys' lunch, leaves them hanging out to dry. But I got to try it out. They had, at the showcase event on Monday, they had it rigged up to Halo 3 and Master Chief Collection, just for you to run around.
Yeah.
And so, it's got everything's all magnetized, so you can pull off the thumbsticks and put on different styles
Like different
of thumbstick.
lengths of thumbsticks. Give you better.
Yeah,
That's
and
your
then
thing.
there are little 4 paddles on the back, so you can do the buttons on the back.
Those I did like a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like those
have been standard for a while too, and they really help you.
And they they're
switching
magnets,
stuff.
so they don't fall off. But if you can pull them off and switch them out or take them off.
Yeah. So you can use like the modified thumbsticks if that's your thing, but if you don't want to use the paddles, you can just get rid of them.
Yep.
It's fully
So-
customizable. It's like the MLG controller in that way.
Correct. And this is where I think it's a super smart move by Microsoft. I mean, they're probably not going to sell a lot of these to guys like you or I,
Correct.
or gamers like anybody in this room, but for the Alfredos of the world, for the guys that are those pro gamers, this is a great way for Microsoft to try and get the pro gamers playing on their console. So we saw them, they're going after I think Phil's been very smart about this. They're going after the people that haven't upgraded yet with backwards compatibility, and they're going after those hardcore pro gamers who sort of spread the word to their friends. And it's like if you see Alfredo and all the pro guys Twitch streaming on Xbox, it makes the viewers more whether consciously or not, more likely to be like, oh, cool, my favorite streamer is
doing
rocking
really
on
well
Xbox.
with that thing. Yeah,
I'm going to get
Maybe
an
I'll check it out.
Xbox also. So I just think it's a brilliant play in that regard.
I'll be very curious to see when Halo 5 becomes the kind of star player for the Halo World Championship Series, or the Halo Championship Series, if this is what the players use. Like, do they stick with the original, or do they want to use this thing with, like, the paddle jumps?
Well, they probably already have the other one. I mean, if they're playing at a professional level, then they've already invested the $250. Why would they?
I mean, they'll get it for free, is why.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, from what I understand, like that stuff wears out too, right? So if you're looking to get a new one, then that's something you can consider.
Yeah, I mean, if they try it and it's better than the more expensive product, then that'd be a big win for Microsoft.
Yep.
All right.
You tried it, right, Elaine?
That I actually didn't have time to get to.
Oh, okay.
Ion. Mitch,
That's a game.
you're a DayZ guy. You've played the game.
A little
Such
bit.
a
Little bit.
strange
Little tiny bit.
looking thing.
Yeah.
Dean is the gentleman's name,
Dean Hall.
right? Yeah, Dean Hall.
We had him here in the office.
Rocky
I brought
Hall.
him here for DayZ a lot, like really early in my
Yep.
career here.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's got a new game which is coming exclusively to Xbox called Ion.
Yeah.
Possibly the strangest trailer
Yep.
of the entire Microsoft conference. And I still don't know what that game is.
Space.
And that's not
Space.
that's not a complaint. It's just like
Space.
that's
Space
all that was
inside,
shown.
An alien inside, maybe something else. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Still.
So
But what is it?
I don't know. Like, I'm trying to. He talked about it a little bit during the PC conference at E3, and even then it wasn't super helpful. But the gist, I think, is like you're doing DayZ style stuff in space on ships or something. I don't know. But Dean Hall is a really smart guy.
He is.
He knows what makes for great player stories. He knows what makes for really interesting systems, and he marries them in a good way. You see that with DayZ. He worked on Arma, so obviously, like, he knows the complexities of something like that, a game that is reliant on a lot of really complicated systems. So if he's bringing it to console, not to be disparaging, but he will simplify that, and he will make it more accessible to a console audience. And I'm excited for whatever this is.
Yeah, I trust him with gaming.
Yeah.
You know, whatever he's going to make, I'm sure he'll know what he's doing.
By the way, probably another thing we can throw onto the Xbox in 2016 pile.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, again, it's so Xbox clearly staked out. They've got some kick-ass stuff for this year, which I thought they did really well. It's like, if you're gonna buy a console this year, here's a bunch of great reasons why you should grab an Xbox. And then, yeah, like you were hinting at, Destin, very quietly, like, oh, 2016's looking pretty sweet too. So, looking forward to finding a lot more out about Ion.
I'm a little confused about the marketing team at Microsoft. Like, why aren't they doing a bigger push for, like, Tomb Raider being exclusive on their console? I've been thinking about that since we talked about Tomb Raider. Because, like, Sony's like, Call of Duty is the new home is on PlayStation, you know. Why aren't they making a bigger deal about the fact that they have Tomb Raider? I don't think they have done a really good job of that.
I don't know. I mean, that's a good question.
Get it together, guys. You have a
well,
huge property,
but
it's Tomb Raider.
Remember, though, that there's still Sony is not doing anything at Gamescom, or they're not doing a keynote at Gamescom. Microsoft is.
Yeah.
And
We got more coming, is what you're saying.
that's what I'm saying is
I'll
that
be
they
there.
might. Yeah, you'll be there.
Yeah.
So E3, they did have a significant demo, even if it was not the one we wish we saw the other one.
Yeah.
But yeah, they might make yet another big push at Gamescom, and then that game's out in November. So they've still got time to keep harping on it and really play up. It's got to be a challenge to, like, well, we got to play up Halo, but we got Tomb Raider as well. So how do you balance those forces? You only have so much marketing dollars and attention that you can spend.
True.
Also,
What are you gonna do?
Sony doesn't have as much coming out this year. Like most everything
They-
that
all
Sony
their
talks
stuff
about.
is like way out.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They had a great conference, but they have zero first-party
Right.
games for 2015.
Exactly, so
for the rest of the year.
Right. So if you're gonna talk up something, you would talk up Call of Duty because
Right,
Yes.
and
that's
the
what guaranteed
and the
launch.
Destiny
Destiny.
expansion and
Exactly.
Star Wars Battlefront. They
Yeah.
doubled down on those third-party games, whereas Microsoft could say, we have all this awesome exclusive stuff coming
Now.
just to our console this year." So, I thought they both had great conferences, but with very different sort of messages and
Oh, yeah.
strategies. Like, you can't dispute Xbox has the better lineup in 2015.
Yeah,
There's
totally.
just
I think-
no doubt about that.
I think next year Xbox has a chance to like blow Sony out of the water because Sony kind of showed their whole hand
Early,
this year.
you're right.
This year, so next year's gonna be
Well,
like
even last
here's
year
the same
too,
stuff
with
again.
PSX,
Yeah.
the PlayStation event that they did in December. I think you're right.
I think that'll this year PSX will be very interesting.
Very telling too,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, 2015, 2016 looking great for Xbox. And this last bit of good news, which made me happy, as you know, I talked about leading up to E3. I wrote an editorial about everything I thought that was wrong with Microsoft's indie focus and some ways I thought that they could fix it rather easily. I'm glad to see they were listening. No, they weren't. They were already doing this stuff anyway, and it just the timing of
They
my
were like, just you wait, Ryan.
the timing of my piece
We'll
just
show
happened to be
him.
good. Yeah, so I complained about how there's no Summer of Arcade, so indie games don't really get a great spotlight on the system. I complained that there are no mandatory demos, trial versions for digital games the way there was on 360 with Live Arcade, and they are addressing both of those with a small E3 announcement that they sort of slipped in, not even at the conference, it was later on in the week. So there's Game Preview, Mitch, which is sort of an early access style.
Very much so, yeah.
thing.
A try before you buy program too.
Yeah. And then Summer Spotlight, which is sort of a Summer of Arcade light. It's going to debut this summer with just 3 games, whereas Summer of Arcade would always be 5. King's Quest, Smite, and Toy Soldiers War Chest, which 3 solid titles. Everybody's been really high on Smite. I'm very much looking forward to King's Quest because it's an adventure game that's doing a great job of channeling the spirit of the original. And then Toy Soldiers has been a very quietly good series for a long time.
Yeah, I keep forgetting this game even exists until it pops up in the news with like, oh, we have He-Man in this game, and it's like, oh, you're Toy Soldiers, but you have licensed stuff this time.
Yeah.
That's really exciting.
He-Man was a good get for them because it's going to bring awareness to that property now.
That's true.
you know, with
Yeah.
that nostalgia factor.
That is very
Oh
true.
yeah, this
Great
is definitely
point.
pandering to the '80s kids, big
Yeah.
time.
Right here. Right here.
I wasn't interested in that game very much. Then I saw He-Man. I'm like, all right, what is it? Tell me more. You know.
No, it's true.
And that's smart.
Yeah,
It's a really
you're
smart. move.
absolutely correct. So I'm really glad to see Microsoft taking some steps to just play up all these great digital titles and indie titles in a bigger and better way, because they've got a lot of good ones coming, and it's like, hey, if Cuphead ends up in the early access thing where you can play a level of it,
Oh, man.
that's going to
Oh,
sell a
wow.
lot of Cupheads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll sell a lot of Cupheads.
Solves the problem of live games not having demos at the moment
Yeah,
as well.
that too. So kudos Microsoft on that. And that's everything. That was all we didn't literally go through everything, but those were all the big noteworthy things. Fantastic showing for Microsoft. A ton to be excited about this year, and as we've pieced together for next year too. And with that, I'm going to go Destin's way.
All right.
To this week. Marketplace report. No one was foolish enough to release a game around E3, right, Destin?
Somebody was, Warner. Batman Arkham Knight is available.
They're forgiven. It's Batman.
Yeah, it's Batman, so it's okay. That is the tank simulator.
Oh.
Then you got Devil May Cry Special Edition on Xbox One for
That's
$25.
DMC4.
Oh, okay.
By the way, Batman, I'm about half plus way through. It's so good
It's
so
good,
far.
yeah.
Can't
I
wait.
really love it.
I might buy it tonight. Like just to install it, just to have
it's
it forever.
it's great. For those asking, I'm playing on PS4 because that's the version we got in the office first.
On a debug, right?
Yeah, I don't know how it plays on Xbox One.
I saw Dan playing. It looks great.
Looks fine.
Yeah,
it's all good.
totally fine.
Yeah,
PC
no,
version, kind of a mess.
Yeah.
The
don't play on
PC
PC.
version's the disaster this
It's
time.
really bad.
So
Yeah.
good stuff there.
Where was I? So Batman, Devil May Cry Special Edition, which is DMC4. It's $25. Tour de France. is
Finally.
$50.
That used to be a $10
you-
Xbox Live Arcade game.
Should 100% as a French Canadian be
Yeah.
pronouncing that better?
Tour de
Tour de
France. Yeah, France.
De France.
There we go.
A cycling simulator for your.
I figured.
Well,
yeah.
you know what's funny about this game? I mean, it's great that it exists because this used to come out every year. I mean, it does come out every year, but it used to
Yeah.
only come out in Europe, and now they've started releasing
it was on
here
XBLA
too.
for like $10 every year. I'm pretty sure.
Well, now it's 50.
Yeah,
On Xbox One.
now we're going
Yeah.
for
inflation, Mitch. It
going for
happens.
gold, going for the pedalon or whatever.
Digital, a phenomenal series, got a new entry with Tales from the Borderlands hitting episode 3.
Can't wait to
It's
play it.
$5.
I'm itching. Like as we
Yeah.
record this, I am paused after like a really good scene, and I'm like, God, let's just finish. I want to go finish the episode.
If you haven't checked it out yet, the first episode was phenomenal. I still have to
Second
do
episode's
two and
gold
three.
too.
It
Marty
remains-
said the second one somehow like did better.
And
than
apparently
the
the third
first
one's even better.
I can't.
That's
This thing
phenomenal.
is on a massive upswing.
This-
Tales
this-
is so great.
As I've said, we say this every time an episode comes out, but I don't have a thing for Borderlands. I respect it, but I haven't really latched on to the Borderlands shooters. But so with that in mind, for me to say that this is my favorite so far Telltale series ever.
It has me laughing out loud. It's so many parts.
So good. I don't know how it's this good. And this is from someone who's not even attached to Borderlands. It's amazing.
And then Quantum Rush Champions. Don't know what that is at
It's
all.
a
No idea.
futuristic racing game, like
Okay.
little arcade style.
$15.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, not so bad. At the marketplace, games with gold for June include Massive Chalice and anybody want to guess what the other one is?
Pool Nation!
Yeah. Let's just keep it going as a joke. Like
8-ball quarter pocket, mother effers.
I
know
hope
what
they
that
just
was.
leave it on there forever. It's like you got a new Xbox One, get Pool Nation FX for free.
Swear to God, this thing better be in there in July.
Yeah.
Don't we have a bet on that?
I mean, I said it would be.
You said it would be, and I think you're nuts.
I think I'm right. I'm
I think for the rest of the year,
burgers.
I think for the rest of the year, Pool Nation FX will be the free game.
Oh man.
hilarious.
On Xbox 360, we got Thief on June 16th through 30th.
Yeah, for the rest of the month.
Yeah. It's
Just
free.
some good stealth action.
Yeah, try it out.
Cool. All right, we will come right back to a little trivia and be on our merry way. All right, let's finish strong with a sneeze or a cough.
Yeah,
Was that
man.
a snog?
finish
No
strong.
E3 illness, please.
Yes.
The fatigue already hit me. It's already passed.
I slept all weekend. Like I could not believe the amount of recharge my body needed after E3.
It was
I
a good one.
was wrecked. I was
so
like
good.
passing out randomly.
I love E3, man. That's so good. All right, Unlock Block Trivia, where you can win a video game of a variety of choices, because mostly it's due to the generosity of you, our listeners and viewers, who
Thank you,
send in
friendos.
your unused codes, whether you picked up an Xbox One bundle but already have that game or something, so you've donated your Assassin's Creed 4 or you're this one or you're that one. And this week our winner is Nick. His gamer tag is XPVCX. Guessing that's maybe like a clan tag or something online. Nacho. So thank you, Nick.
No, I want nachos. Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to throw the question out, and then I'll update you guys on the scoring. So it's Gears related. We had Gears of War 4 announced, as
Yeah,
well
man.
as the Ultimate Edition remake officially confirmed. That beta just ended, by the way, so that game's out in August as well. We got we got old stuff in August.
Yeah.
It's Rare Replay and Gears of War Ultimate Edition.
And then Fallout, then my life goes away.
That's in
Goodbye.
November.
Yeah.
So Nick asks, gentlemen and lady, which of the Carmine brothers in the Gears of War series was the first to die?
Spoilers.
Was it Benjamin, Anthony, Fredo, or Clayton?
Who goes first?
Go for it, Destin.
So you guys have already written down your answers.
Yes.
And we do have a tie. Mitch and Destin, you guys are tied for the yearly lead. Winner gets the Dookie Trophy at the end of the year. You guys have 10 points apiece. Elaine, obviously, you're just more playing for the spirit of competition at this
Spirit
point.
of competition.
Destin and I are playing for keeps.
Yeah. Yeah, it's real for these two gentlemen. So, Destin, I'll go to you first.
Okay, so I remember that the joke is they all look the same, and their names are Anthony, Benjamin, and Clayton, ABC. So I went with A. I'm guessing the A character showed up first in the game and was the first to die.
Okay.
So sorry. It's B. The character's name is Anthony Carmine.
Okay.
To be
So we've
specific.
got Destin Logic, Alphabet in action. Mitch Dyer.
That is literally the same logic I had.
Elena Yee, any guess?
Well, I'm not up on my Gears lore, which is terrible, so I just did the blind stab test, which landed me on Clayton.
Clayton. All
See,
right,
they could
fair
have done
enough.
that too, though. They could have went opposite CBA.
Oh, thanks. See, I could have just said that.
Yeah,
It sounded
so-
way smarter.
I first of all, Nick, I love you for including Fredo in there. Just like a
So
great
good.
Godfather reference.
Yep.
Great stuff. And our new leader now is both of you, because you both
Oh.
got it right. We remain tied. You now, Mitch and Destin, each with 11 points. You both got it right. It is, in fact, Anthony Carmine. Great job, gentlemen.
Phew.
And,
Mitch sounded so confident before the show. He's
Well,
like,
it's 'cause
I know this one.
As soon as I
Circle.
saw it, I was like, ABC, man, let's do this.
Yeah.
Boom. Anthony. Rest in peace.
He is not with us anymore. Although, I guess maybe if Gears 4 ends up being some sort of weird prequel, he could live again.
Maybe Fredo Carmine will
Maybe
show
it's way in the future and he's JD Carmine.
I like it. All right, if you would like a chance to win a video game or win some sort of Xbox goodie, send your Xbox-related trivia question along with 4 multiple-choice answers. Please note the correct one. And email that to us. Where, Mitch?
Unlocked@IGN.com.
Outstanding.
We're going to need a really good trivia question for... are we doing a trivia at the live show?
Well, yeah, I should add, I was at the Bethesda press conference where
Yeah.
you may have read on the internets. They handed out these little vinyl figurines.
Oh.
Then only for that show. One is Dishonored, the new female
Emily
protagonist. One is an adorable cyber demon from Doom, and the other is
the Fallout character.
Yes, the Brotherhood of Steel.
Yeah.
Power armor. So I had to open it because we did an unboxing. They've been personally touched by me, as well as
That increases their value, right?
I'm not sure. You take that how you will. And I think Sean Finnegan as well manhandled them. So if you would like to win
decreases.
those, I am going to give them away at the house party.
Can I win them?
If IGN Zach Ryan did not already give me an Emily Caldwin, you and I would be having words right now.
I was gonna say Mitch would be asking to join that.
Yeah. I don't know how I'm going to give them away, and I don't know if I'll give away the whole set or give them away individually to 3 different people, because they're already open, so their eBay value is plummeted. So
No. They're so rare. They were only given away at E3.
Well, I'd rather people get them that want them and not
Yeah.
put them on
Yeah.
eBay. But so we'll figure it all out. But I will be giving those away at the IGN house party, which is happening this Saturday, as we said at the top of the show. Couple of tickets left. We found a few more seats. We could squeeze a few more people in. go.ign.com/house party, and we hope to see you there. Mitch,
Yes, sir.
what's going on, man? What from E3 is there something that you're super proud of out of the show? Something you've been up to recently that we should definitely be checking out besides you on Twitter?
It is genuinely such a blur. I don't remember the content I made. Brian and I wrote a feature yesterday. I remember that one about 11 things you need to know about the new Old Republic expansion, if that's your thing. Did lots of videos for Battlefront. We did a Rewind Theater for Dishonored 2. Oh gosh, lots and lots and lots of stuff there. I mostly just did a billion news stories, so if you missed all the IGN news during E3, definitely go back. The E3 Hub, IGN.com/E3 has everything.
Excellent. Destin.
You're going to find out on Saturday, maybe, what I'm working on. If not, then pay attention on July 6th, because part 1 of an exciting thing. You know what I'm working on.
Oh, I'm well aware.
I
So
do
much
not.
mystery.
I know, right?
Can't really talk about it, but yeah, it's all in the works. Versus Who Won E3 is coming out this Friday. You can vote for who had the best
gamers?
game reveals. The best.
Everyone won.
Well, of course, everybody won. But the Versus series is about who you feel had the best conference, who had the best game reveals, and who had the best overall presence during the event. So that'll be launching on Friday.
It was Konami.
Konami, yes,
With
definitely.
the from like 4 years ago,
Yeah.
the super weird Konami conference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elena Yee, what have you been up to? Where can we follow you on social medias, etc.?
I am at Morphing Ball on Twitter, where I talk about cats and also how VR is kind of strange but weird. And
Are you
awesome.
and cats wearing VR helmets? Are we
Yeah,
playing those?
man.
we're heading for that someday, probably.
I want a VR game that's just petting kitties. It's just a cat cafe VR
You should just
game.
get a cat,
You
Mitch.
could just go down to the local shelter. And
Yeah, but if I want to play football, I'm not gonna go play football. I'm gonna play Madden.
What?
Video games are for. I don't want the responsibility.
Mitch
I just want the
wants
cute animals.
Yeah, he wants
Yeah.
his simulated life, not a
Yeah.
real life.
I don't need to.
That's his
play
prerogative.
sports. I'm just gonna play video games.
You should play sports.
Oh,
They're
I should get a cat.
You can find me on Twitter at DMC_Ryan. If you like the shirt you see me wearing on the video, I will respect my employer and not give a direct plug, but you can check my Twitter profile and find out how to get that as well as other shirts. And again, the big one, so look for the Phil Spencer interview as a mini episode, the Matt Stone and Trey Parker interview as a mini episode. And again, the big one, the serious highlight, career highlight for me. It was incredible getting to do this and put it together. We're going to screen the beginning of it at House Party and then look for it. I don't know if it'll actually be next week's episode, if we'll actually do a sit down or just let this be because it's an hour and 45 minutes long. It's a lot of show, but yeah, it's the most Xbox thing we've ever done in the most awesome of ways. Super stoked about it. Look for that at the house party if we're there, or sometime next week. So for Elena Yee, thanks for joining us. Appreciate the insights on backwards compatibility, HoloLens, etc.
Thank you.
Destin Legary.
Hi, everybody.
Love you.
Thanks, Ryan.
Mitch Dyer. Always a pleasure, my friend.
Cannot wait for your burgers.
Can't wait for your burgers.
Oh man.
Let's be burger buddies.
Burger buds.
For all of these fine folks, my name's Ryan McCaffrey. This was Podcast Unlocked, episode 199.5, because we can, and we just have to make 200 be the house party. That's just that's the way life has to go. And we'll see you all there at the house party.
God.
Can't wait, guys. It's going to be a blast.
So pumped.